Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All praises be to Allah, the most merciful. Salawat and salam to the Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah, who has guided us from the darkness to the lightness of knowledge and wisdom. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Ratna Mulyani. I'll be teaching you from after the midterm, which you have taken with Madam Eva. Basically, I'll get to know you further during the classes, but today I want to discuss about the topic so that you won't be left out so much from the material that we have to cover after the midterm. So we'll be discussing about accounting systems, which is chapter 5 of your textbook. Previously, you have covered about the introduction of accounting, the types of business enterprises, and then you also learn about how to analyze the transaction, put it into the journals, and then posting to the ledgers, and then preparing the financial statements. So basically, you've covered the whole accounting cycle. Yeah. So continuing from those topics, you'll be learning further about accounting systems, and then we'll move specifically into the accounting for trading businesses. If previously you were familiar with the service industry, so you will know about the accounting for trading businesses, as well as manufacturing businesses. Okay, for accounting systems, as the term system, yeah. In this topic, basically, we'll define and describe about what accounting system is, and then we'll get to know about the manual accounting system by learning specifically on the subsidiary ledgers and special journals. Yeah. Previously, you just know the ledger, and then you know about the general journal. But this time, we'll get into a more specific concepts of subsidiary ledgers and special journals. Okay, and besides the manual accounting system, you'll get to be introduced about computerized accounting systems and a little bit about the analysis of financial statement, and also the basic features of e-commerce. Okay, what is it, accounting system? As the term system is always about the methods, about the procedures, about how something is conducted, how something is managed and run so that certain objectives can be achieved. Yeah. So the same idea with the accounting system, because it is a system, so it is a method or procedures for us in collecting and classifying, summarizing, and reporting business, financial, and operating information so that a financial report can be presented for the users of financial statements. Hence, the users of financial statements, like the internal users of financial statement, as well as external users of financial statement, like government, potential investors, they can take useful decision. They can make a useful decision making based on the financial reports that is provided from the accounting system. Yeah. Well, accounting system is is not the same between one business to another businesses. Yeah, it very much depends on the nature of the business itself, the nature of the operation, the size of the business, whether it is a small business, let's say a sole proprietorship, or it is a medium-sized business, or it is a big-sized business. It demands for a different kind of accounting system. Yeah, the bigger the company, the more complex accounting system is required, because it is needed to perform not only recording the basic transaction information, but also the system is needed to record other information, such as in the example of an airline company, whether it is Garuda or other airline company which currently facing the recession, we can say, due to the pandemic. They need a system to record the ticket reservations, credit card collection, and then the aircraft maintenance. Yeah? There's so many elements to fulfill the main operation of the business itself. Yeah? In the example of an airline company. Yeah? Other types of company also require a specific accounting system which can accommodate their operational activities. That's why in designing an accounting system, as the business grows and expands, yeah, so the accounting system also needs to be improved, to be adapted, yeah, to be changed in adapting to the business growth and development. Yeah. So when accounting system is designed, it started from the analysis of the transactions, and then they design the accounting system which can accommodate the whole the whole needs of the company's transactions, and then it goes to the implementation stage. Yeah? The implementation stage also will require the evaluation whether the system works well, or it needs to be further improved or corrected in certain aspects. Yeah? So these are the three-step process in implementing the accounting system. Okay, there are two elements in the design of accounting system. Yeah? First is internal control, and second, processing methods. Yeah? Internal control means the procedures or the policies that is taken by the company to make sure that the assets are not misused, yeah? Are not manipulated, as well as the internal control also the policies that are taken to ensure that business information, the financial information provided, is accurate or free from error and bias. And also the internal control aims to make sure that the laws and regulations are being followed. Yeah? So certain policies, certain SOPs or standard operating procedures needs to be in place to make sure the three objectives of internal control can be achieved, which is to protect the assets from misuse, to ensure the information is accurate, and to ensure that the laws and regulations are being followed. Yeah? So designing accounting system needs to fulfill all these internal control elements. Yeah? That's why, let's say, in terms of access to the accounting system, yeah, not everyone can access fully to the system, because to make sure that there is no misuse of assets, there is no misuse of the system itself for the purpose of their personal benefits. Yeah, so certain job position can access certain financial information, while other job position within the company can access other certain information. So it's segregated. It's designed in such a way to make sure that there is no fraud or breach of laws and regulations. Yeah? And also the duties, if in the company, are also segregated. For example, someone holding the cash shouldn't be someone who can sign the check, yeah, because they can manipulate if they have the access to signing the check and then maintaining the asset by themselves, yeah. So certain procedures need to be taken in designing accounting system. Okay, another element of accounting system design is the processing method. Yeah? Processing method, which approach that is taken to accounting system, yeah? Whether it is manual or computerized. So which approach that is taken for the accounting system to collect, summarize, and report the accounting information. Yeah? So it depends on the company whether they want to have a manual accounting system or computerized accounting system. Yeah? Maybe a simple business, for a simple business, a manual accounting system is sufficient. But for a more complex businesses, the manual system might not work anymore for them. Yeah? So they need a computerized accounting system. Okay, we'll be understanding and exploring the manual accounting system first. Why there is a need to understand the manual accounting system when we are in totally digital world now? Because by understanding a manual accounting system, it is useful for us to understand the relationship between the accounting data and reports. Yeah? And the computerized accounting system also uses the principles from the manual system. Yeah? So to understand the computerized, we also need to understand first the manual system, yeah, to operate and understand how one data relates to another data. And when we see the financial report, we can understand where those reports coming from, specific data coming from where, yeah, by understanding the manual accounting system. For manual accounting system, we want to simplify in recording the transaction. Yeah, that's why we cannot only depend on the general ledgers and the general journal. Yeah, we need to have a specific ledger, or in this case called a subsidiary ledger, to record the transactions that are being repeatedly performed and continuously performed. Yeah. So a large number of individual accounts with a common characteristics, yeah, like debtors as well as creditors, then we need a separate ledger, which we call a subsidiary ledger, yeah, or in Indonesia buku besar pembantu, yeah. The primary ledger, the ledger that you have been learning previously, is the general ledger, which contains all the statement of financial position and income statement accounts, yeah. You have cash there, you have receivables, we have payables, account payables, yeah. So all the primary accounts are put in the general ledger. So each subsidiary ledger just now, or buku besar pembantu, is represented in the general ledger by a summarizing account called as controlling account. Yeah. Okay, because certain individual accounts, yeah, let's say for receivable, yeah, The receivable may come from customer A, customer B, customer C until Z, right? So they can be grouped together in a separate ledger. Yeah, and that's why we need a specific subsidy ledger for the transaction that are common, like for receivable and payable. Yeah, even though we can have other subsidy ledger for other accounts, but primarily we use subsidy ledger for account receivable and account payable. Yeah. And for these two subsidy ledger, they have a controlling account in general ledger. Yeah. Let's say for account receivable subsidiary ledger, they would have the account receivable in general ledger. Yeah. Whereby account payable subsidiary ledger, they have account payable in general ledger. Yeah. You may get a little bit confused, but if you read carefully the textbook, then you get understand better. And as we go through also, you will understand, inshallah. Yeah. So account receivable subsidiary ledger or customer's ledger, it will list the individual customer account in alphabetical order. Yeah. Let's say account receivable subsidiary ledger for customer A and then for customer B. Yeah. So we have the details for each customer that contributes to the total of account receivable. Yeah. The same thing with account payable subsidiary ledger. Yeah. So we have the list of individual creditor accounts in alphabetical order. Yeah. So the related controlling account in the general ledger is account payable. Yeah. The main account in the general ledger. Yeah. I hope you are following me. Okay. So in this illustration, you can see, sorry, we have general ledger where it contains all the primary accounts of the company. We have cash, accounts receivable, supplies, etc. Yeah. So let's say in this account receivable in the general ledger is the controlling account for account receivable subsidiary ledgers for individual customers, yeah, customer A, B, C, and D, etc. Yeah. The same thing for account payable subsidiary ledgers. It will list the creditor A, how much the balance for creditor A, how much the balance for creditor B, C, and D. And then we have the controlling account in general ledger, which is the account payable. Yeah, account payable summarizes and totals up the whole balances of this account payable subsidiary ledger. Okay, that was the accounts subsidiary ledger. Yeah. Now we also need a special journals in manual system. Even in computerized system, they also use these special journals and subsidiary ledger. Yeah? The purpose of special journals is the same like subsidiary ledger. It aims to simplify the recording of transaction. Yeah? And also, it provides the information of the specific balances of certain main transaction of the company. Yeah? Let's say just now the subsidiary ledger, it would provide us the detail of, let's say for account receivable, it would provide us the detail how much the customer A still owe us, how much the customer B still owe us. Yeah. So by knowing the balance or saldo for each customer, then it will be easily for us to monitor and evaluates, yeah, the ability of the customers to make the payment. The same for creditors. It will give us the information of their individual balances so we can identify and monitor how much do we owe for specific creditor. Special journals, yeah. It also aims to simplify the recording of frequent transactions. Yeah, let's say the transaction of providing the services to the customers. Yeah, that transaction will be repeatedly done. Yeah, so if we do the recording in general journals, it will be quite troublesome. Yeah, because the transaction is recorded again and again for the same transaction. Yeah? So that's why special journals are needed, yeah, to record the common transaction that happens very frequent. Yeah? Let's say the cash payments, the cash receipts, yeah, and then the revenue transaction, and then the purchases transaction. Yeah? Those are the transactions that are continuously done by the company. So it becomes simpler when we have a special journal. Yeah. The company may have the various types of special journals, but these are the main four special journals, which are the revenue journals, which record the transactions in providing services on account or on credit. Yeah. And we have cash receipts journal, which record the receipt of cash from any sources. It may come from the customers, it may come from other parties. Yeah. Let's say our main activity is providing service, but we also rent out certain of our buildings. So we have rent revenue. Rent revenue also, if it is paid in cash, it will be recorded in the cash receipts journal. Yeah, and we have purchases journal, which record the purchase of items on credit. And we have cash payment journal to record the payment of cash for any purposes, yeah, for any transaction of cash payment. Yeah. So basically, revenue journal is opposite of purchases journal. Cash receipts journal is opposite of cash payment journal. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how the linkage between the transaction to special journal and subsidiary ledger. Let's say the transaction of fees earned on account, yeah, or providing the services on credit. Yeah, we provide the service to customer, but they haven't paid yet. So we record that into revenue journal, and also we post to the account receivable subsidiary ledger for specific customer. Yeah. For transaction of cash receipt, we record in special journal, and then we post to account receivable subsidiary ledger. Yeah. For the transaction of purchases on account, it is recorded in purchases journal and posted to account payable subsidiary ledger. Yeah. If it is a cash payment, we normally pay the creditors. So it's recorded in special journal of cash payment journal and posted to account payable subsidiary ledger. Yeah. Okay, let's see the example. Let's say this company Solusinet had the following selected general ledger balances on March 1st, 2016. They have cash, account receivable, supplies, office equipment, and account payable. So the fees earned on account, we would record in revenue journal. And the cash fees earned would be recorded in cash receipt journal. Yeah, it's very logical actually. Okay, whatever cash payment, it goes to cash payment journal. Whatever the cash that we receive, it will go to cash receipts journal. Yeah. Okay, let's say the company in the example just now, Solusinet, they have 4 revenue transactions for March in its general journal. let's say they are providing services to these three customers basically, yeah, but there are 4 transactions, yeah, Sinta accessory, Gempita zone, Web Clarita, and again Sinta accessory, yeah. If it is in general journal, then this transaction will be recorded again and again, yeah, and it's very identical or the same, yeah, sama, yeah. You will credit fees earned, you will credit account receivable, or you can credit revenue, right? Normally the account name is revenue. Debit account receivable, credit revenue. Again, debit account receivable, credit revenue, yeah. So it's quite messy, yeah, it's quite messy because the same transaction being recorded again and again, yeah, and it doesn't really provide a meaningful information, yeah. How much the total of account receivable for certain customer, yeah. And by using the special journal and subsidiary ledger, we can record those transactions more efficiently, yeah, because only a single amount column is needed, yeah. And the date, invoice number, customer name, and amount are entered separately for each transaction. Okay, let's say on March 2nd, Solusinet issued invoice to Sinta Accessory for fees earned of 2,200,000. Yeah. So we would put it in column, yeah, of the revenue journal. The first column is the date, and then invoice number, second column, and then what account that we debit. Because it is revenue journal, then we know the revenue is credit, yeah. So we don't need anymore the column for credit because it's obvious it's revenue. So what we need is only the column for what account to be debited, yeah. So normally you debit the account receivable, which is the customer's account, and credit revenue, yeah. And then the last column, we provide the amount, yeah, the amount that is debited to account receivable and credited to revenue. So this is the look of revenue journal. We have date, we have invoice, and then what account do we debit? And then we have reference post, this one to indicate when we post this amount to the specific subsidiary ledger of the customers. Yeah. So we record the whole transaction in this journal, yeah, for the whole month. And then until the end of the month, only we would transfer or post the total to general ledger, the revenue journal. Yeah. Okay, you see the step here. When we record the transaction in revenue journal, yeah, after we fill up the revenue journal, we will post it to the subsidiary ledger. So that will be the first step. Yeah. We post to, let's say this is subsidiary ledger for customer Sinta accessory. Yeah. So we transfer the amount 2,200. Yeah. And in the post references, we'll put R35 because it refers to revenue 35. Revenue journal, page 35. Yeah. And after we post that, we need to tick here in the reference posting for revenue journal. Yeah. To indicate that we have completed posting it to subsidiary ledger. Okay. Okay, we repeat those steps, yeah, until the end of the month, yeah. After that, don't forget to tick whenever we have posted, and also to write the posting references in subsidiary ledger, yeah. Okay. At the end of the month, only the company will total up the revenue journal, and the total will be posted to general ledger for account receivable as well as revenue. Yeah. If we have done posting it, then we need to indicate here. Let's say here in the bracket 12. 12 refers to account receivable, account number 12. Means we have posted the total to account receivable in general ledger. Yeah. And here 41 in the bracket means we have posted accordingly to account fees earned or revenue, yeah, which is account number 41. Yeah. And we need to also here indicate that where this coming from, the reference posting here. R35 again, revenue journal, page 35. Okay, hope you are following me. And the same thing for cash receipts journal. Yeah, let's say in this example, the transaction is the customer Web Carita on March 19 made a payment of 3,400,000. Yeah. So we will record the receipt of this payment in the cash receipts journal. Yeah. The same format as revenue journal, but because this cash receipt, it is asset, so you know the nature is debit. Yeah. So we don't need to provide a column for debit anymore, but we provide a column for account credited. Yeah. Which account that we credit. Yeah. And then we have account receivable credit column and cash debit as well. Yeah. Why do we have two columns here, account receivable and other accounts? Because certain payments are not coming from the customers. Yeah. So we provide a specific column for the cash receipts that come from other parties. Yeah. Let's say in this example, rent revenue. Rent revenue doesn't come from subsidiary ledger. It doesn't come from our main customers. Yeah. So the same steps again like you do for revenue journal. Yeah? Whenever there is a transaction, we record transaction of cash receipts. Yeah? So we record in the cash receipts journal and then we post accordingly to specific subsidiary ledger. Yeah? Let's say payment from Web Carita 3,400. Then we need to update the subsidiary ledger of Web Carita. Yeah. And then the total at the end we post. Yeah. Here we have the column for cash total, how much. Then we post to general ledger account cash. And don't forget to provide the posting references, which is CR14 in this case, refers to cash receipt journal page 14. Yeah? And then we post to account receivable credit, yeah, to update the balance of account receivable. And we provide also the reference posting. Yeah? And we have other account totals here. Yeah? And it goes to rent revenue. Yeah? Also, we provide the reference posting. Yeah? And at the end of the month, after all the transactions have been recorded, the total have been provided, and then the posting have been done to specific accounts in general ledgers, we can check whether the total in subsidiary ledgers and the total in general ledgers are the same. Yeah, that's why it is called as controlling account, because it provides the benchmark or the reference. Yeah? Let's say in this example, the total of Solusinet's account receivable customer balances is 5,650,000. It must be the same with the balance of account receivable controlling account on general ledger on at the end of the month. Yeah. So the total of subsidiary ledger customer A, B, C, and D must equal to the balance in account receivable on general ledger. Yeah, this is how we can perform the calculation and compare. Yeah? That's why this one is called as controlling account. Yeah, to control whether the transaction have been fully recorded and correctly recorded. Yeah? Okay, we move to purchases journal. It's opposite of revenue journal. This one we record any purchases transaction on credit. Yeah, and we will categorize for the transaction that are mostly conducted. Let's say we always purchase the equipment, so there must be a column for equipment in the purchases journal. Yeah, see here the purchases journal. Let's say the transaction with Toko Husin. Yeah, we purchase the supplies. And also okay, I want you to stop on because it's quite long. I want you to focus on the two on the revenue journal and cash receipts journal just now, and do the exercises. Pick select 3 exercises from the book on revenue journal and cash receipts journal, as well as subsidiary ledger. And I'll provide a video on the purchases journal as well as the cash payment journals later on. So we split into 2 for this topic. Okay. Thank you. I wish you all the best. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.